So this is a tutorial to teach the basics of speed cubing. Now, not actually teaching how to solve the cube using speed cubing, but how to utilize finger tricks to be able to manipulate the cube, like double rotation on the top, single rotation back and forth, showing you how to actually control the flip of the sides. So we can start by showing hand position. And the way that I do it is I use my thumbs to control the lines across the front, top and bottom, to determine what I'm going to rotate, and my fingers on the back, 1, 2, 3, almost like you're going to play a flute, on the back. So by putting pressure on the corners here, we can start the rotation like so. Now what I'm actually doing is I keep my fingers here on these lines so that it leaves the top free to rotate and kind of stops this from joggling and coming apart. Then, using the opposite finger of the rotation, you can stop the edge from sliding, like this. So I put a little bit of pressure back here, just a little bit, and I can stop the cube so it's almost completely front-facing every time. You do the same thing on the other side. See, you use this finger back here to stop it. Keep a little bit of pressure on there, push it through, and it will pop right to where your finger is. All right? So that's top. Bottom is the exact same thing. We're going to shift our fingers up here. We're going to use our ring fingers. We're going to push through, keeping a little bit of pressure on the bottom. We can just flip straight through it. Same thing on the other side. And once again, you're going to use the opposite finger to control the rotation. All right? So that's top and bottom rotation, and that's extremely useful for many algorithms. And side rotation, I just basically use standard side rotation. There's nothing special here. There's no tricks. Just basic turns, right? But you use that in conjunction with top rotation to do little combination moves. For instance, turn with your fingers already set on the bottom there, right? Turn and push, and it gives you a turn plus rotation. Okay? Check it out. Right? Right? And the same thing the other way. So we can turn, flip this way. We can also inversely turn and use our thumb to go across the top. Right? Make sense? Okay? So this is very common in moves like right, top, right prime, top prime, or up prime, however you want to call it. Very standard move. I personally call this the juggle, right? Basically all I'm doing is that same movement over and over again. That is up, finger, push, right? Down, finger, push back, up, and repeat. That's it. Very common in a lot of moves. So now we have basic top rotation down. We're going to work on double finger rotation. Now, I've heard a lot of people say over the past few years that you don't really need to know this, that you can actually just, use single finger rotation, and do it really fast. But from what I've seen in my experiences, if you learn to do double finger, it's much faster. Here's an example. So you're doing single finger. Try and get that as fast as you can out there. Right, so if I'm going to go twice, 1, 2, oh, I missed it, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, or double finger, done, 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 right? So I suggest you learn this technique. It'll really enhance your rotation. Basically all you do is similar to the single rotation. You're going to pull this finger through, separating your second middle finger here, and catch the edge and flip it through, just like you'd expect. Kind of like a bass player playing two-fingered strings, right? So you're going to go 1, 2, 1, 2. And there's a sensation there, you can feel it, where your fingers are just about this far apart and they move together and they'll pull the edges through, like that. Take a bit of practice to really get it down, and I still screw it from time to time. Alright, that becomes very useful. Another useful technique to learn is middle rotation. And everybody does this a little differently. My personal preference, for some reason, I'm actually right-handed, but I'm more comfortable with my left finger catching the bottom edge and rotating the middle through like this. Don't ask me why, I'm a weirdo. but it's just like any other rotation. It takes a little bit of practice, and you can start to rotate the middle through. That's another thing to learn. Practice, get good at that. Also, middle rotation the other way, straight through the center. Exact same thing. You're going to make sure you've secured the top and the bottom here in some form, and just roll the middle straight through, right? Another set of finger tricks to learn is the lower bottom rotation here, where you actually use 2 fingers to push through. A lot of people use these in their algorithms. I actually don't use them. I know I'm supposed to, but I just don't have a need for them. The same thing for the tops. Same thing here. So when you practice all these, you know, just get comfortable with the sensation of how it feels running through your fingers. You know, just like this. Sit here and run through it for a while. Get comfortable with the way it feels, and then you can start working those into your actual algorithms, as I demonstrated before. You know, right, up, right prime, up prime, right, up, right prime, up prime. Just keep practicing those with your finger tricks until you get a nice little joggle going. So you're going to want to practice your finger tricks as much as possible to get comfortable with the rotation and the way that feels running through here, things like that. Then you're going to want to take your algorithms, whatever you're using to currently solve the cube, and slow down and try and do them just using finger tricks. For instance, a very basic one would be to do the 4-edge move here, where you do 3 and the movement here. For instance, first thing you're going to do here is you're going to start with a juggle. Down, up, cross, back up, and over. And you see I did that using all finger tricks, which can actually be very fast when you get it down. Alright? I'm doing it a little slow so that you can actually see what it looks like. Alright? It's all finger tricks. Alright, that'll allow you to move those 4 pieces relatively quickly. Alright, just like that. Like that. Okay? So, slow down and go through whatever you're moving through right now, and just try and use finger tricks. You kind of have to relearn after you've learned to solve the cube the first time, or you've learned like the basic method for solving.